Hi, everybody. Dan Illman, Mike Beer, the DRF race of the day for Wednesday, October the 5th. Race number 4 at Delaware Park. 2-year-old fillies going 3/4 of a mile. It's a maiden claimer, 25 down to 20, Delaware certified. Before we get to the full preview, here's a brief message. Want to view free Formulator past performances for this race? Head to the Race of the Day page at DRF.com. Don't forget to subscribe to the Daily Racing Form YouTube channel and bet this card with DRF Bets. Let's take a look at the field for our DRF race of the day. Please scan the QR code for race of the day access on your mobile devices. Field of 10 in here, a couple of first-time starters, a couple of experienced runners. Morning line favorite from the Jamie Ness barn, the 8, Itsy Bitsy Izzy. She's hit the board in her first 2 starts.
Yeah, run okay in her first 2 starts. Has a little bit of speed, it looks like, too. I don't know, Dan. I didn't see, a particular standout in this race. I thought it was fairly wide open. We'll see who can take a little bit of a step forward here.
One of the first-time starters is the number 1, Jimmy DeBook, who's bred both sides for speed. She is by Jimmy Creed, who does very well with first-time starters. Let's start with the Timeform US Pace Projector. You won't see Jimmy DeBook in here, but she does have speed on both sides, and she's ridden by a very aggressive gate jockey in J.D. Acosta. If anyone can bring out her speed, it's Acosta.
It'll be interesting to see if this horse has speed. I suppose that would be a good thing for this filly. I like the Jimmy Creeds, who seems like a pretty good early influence. This filly is a half to a stakes winner named Dump, who was a debut winner, albeit going a mile like Churchill Downs. I don't know. There's a little pedigree here. This trainer, doesn't win a ton of races. Danny doesn't start many firsters either. I thought there were some things to like about this horse.
As we see on the pace projector, Rebel Consort already stakes place despite being a maiden at Colonial Downs. Itsy Bitsy Izzy has speed. Jessica's Race also has speed. And getting Lasix for the first time can work out a good trip. Let's talk a little bit more about the horse down on the rail. Jimmy DeBook, $12,000 weanling purchase. Again, bred for speed, both sides. Kind of an iffy work tab for me. She's going to have to get away well.
Yeah, I'm going to take a wait-and-see approach with this horse. I'm happy to, avoid as many first-time starters as I can. And listen, this horse is not, facing the toughest field in the world here if she can run a little bit.
The 2, Quantico Creek, has raced 3 times. She has finished second all 3 times, including this race on September the 14th, where she finished ahead of Itsy Bitsy Izzy. They're chasing the gate-to-wire winner. Itsy Bitsy Izzy is on the outside in the blue. Quantico Creek is in between horses. Quantico Creek really showed no quit in the stretch. He kept on trying. This horse on the lead just better.
Yeah, they just could never get near this horse on the lead. I guess Quantico Creek ran fine in here, as did Itsy Bitsy Izzy. I thought they both ran okay. I don't know how many more chances this horse gets, though, Dan. It doesn't feel like she can be a great price in here. Any one of her first 3 starts are fine, but they don't necessarily make me want to run to the windows.
The 3 is I got to bolt some changes here. Turf to dirt, route to sprint, out of the maiden special into the Delaware certified maiden claiming. She hit the board in her maiden claiming outing 3 starts back when she was in for the $40,000 waiver. Maybe just in too tough 2 starts back.
Probably in too tough in that race. I guess you can give her the pass for the turf try and route try last time, though she didn't run well in there. I don't know. I guess, at a price, there are ways to at least make some kind of a case for her, Dan. She's taken a pretty significant drop in class here, cutting back and switching surfaces.
Another horse getting a little bit of class reliefs, the 4, Lena Has Spec Shoes, who ran evenly in her career debut. Now she's going to get Lasix for start number 2. I wouldn't be surprised if she improves. She's going to be a good price in this race, a horse that you can consider on the very bottom of single race exotics at the very least.
Yeah, I would definitely be using this horse somewhere. I don't know how good she is. I will say that it's, as compared to some of her competition in here, just a horse who I didn't think got a particularly good trip in her career debut. Now, maybe part of that was just because she didn't have that much speed, but she was in a lot of traffic early, got shuffled back on the backstretch, moved to the outside around the turn. I thought, all in all, she ran okay, and I didn't think she had a great trip.
I think this is some sneaky class relief for the 5, Golden Heart, who was in against males in her career debut and got wired by an odds-on favorite that just sort of ran off the screen and was too much for that field. Golden Heart didn't have a lot of speed. She was down inside, racing on her left lead in the stretch. She was running a little bit at the end of that race. I could see her improve at Lasix.
Yeah, I can see that too. This is the kind of horse I guess you just want to sort of keep an open mind with anyway. You're right, though, Dan. Didn't have a lot of speed. Her rider did not rush her at all in that race, just let her sort of ride the rail from the back, and she was never a factor.
Rebel Consort earned that stakes placing at a big price in the Keswick 2 starts back. That's a race for Virginia registered horses. They brought her back in a maiden special. The fans weren't buying the stakes placing. She was a big price in that race. She caught a very fast pace and never really got involved. The pace should be easier for her here. The competition could be easier. Maybe getting her on the lead at 5-1. That's all you need to know.
Yeah, that's probably a pretty good way to look at it. She's another one. This is, even if you don't like her last two races, and I don't particularly like them, this is pretty significant class relief, and she ran fine in her career debut. Certainly, in my opinion, at least ran as well as Quantico Creek did. Had a little speed in there, tried to go with the winner on the pace, wasn't fast enough, and just sort of fell behind, and then just kept trying through the stretch. I don't know. I didn't hate that debut performance.
Gary Contessa sends out a first-time starter in the 7, Willful Desire, a daughter of 10% juvenile debut stallion Frisian Fire. The dam's a half-sister to Dushare, who was a nice graded stakes-winning dirt sprinter here in New York. Solid work tab. This horse has been working for a while for Contessa. Of the first-time starters, maybe I'd prefer this one.
Yeah, I probably would too. There's a little bit of pedigree here. Contessa, I don't think you're going to get too excited about his stats with first-time starters, but he can have the right one ready. Maybe this is the right one.
We saw Itsy Bitsy Izzy chase Quantico Creek last time out at winning the 5-2 shot in that $25,000 waiver event. This horse was on a hard chase. She broke really well, but the horse that won the race just had too much speed for Itsy Bitsy Izzy. Was chasing 3 wide, under urging on the turn, finished evenly. Maybe she won't have to work as hard to get forward position this time around.
That's certainly possible. I mean, I do think there are a couple of horses with speed to her inside, and of course, you don't know about the 2 first-time starters either. But did break very alertly last time. Just wasn't as fast as the winner of that race, and all she could do was chase that horse to no avail. Really, I don't necessarily care for the fact, Dan, that she's taken money in her first 2 starts and hasn't really come that close to winning. But she's certainly a contender here.
A Sister Spirit, the number 9, first-time starter by Golden Lad. This is a $6,000 yearling. Golden Lad wins 11% with 2-year-old debut runners. The second dam was a stakes-winning sprinter. This is the family, one of your favorites. Good old Gaija Star won the King's Bishop back in the day.
Yeah, that's right. I wondered if you were going to bring that up. A good Ned Evans female family here. There's some pedigree with this horse. Mike Gorham, he doesn't have great numbers with firsters, Dan. That bothers me a little bit. But this horse, I won't be surprised if this horse runs all right.
Completing the fields, the 10, Jessica's Race, a filly that showed good speed in her career debut over a sloppy track. Then went to the sidelines for about, 3 months or so and came back last time out in a very fast-paced race. She broke okay from the inside post. She was outrun early. I thought that was a decent field she was in against. Maybe a little class relief, Lasix for the first time, and a clear trip from an outside post.
That's all the things that I liked about this horse too. I actually thought I know it was a wet track. I thought her debut was pretty good. She had good speed in that race. She did not quit when she got challenged in the stretch and just failed to last for second in there. And she ran fine last time after a little bit of a bobble at the start from the rail. All she could do was chase, but another race where she just did not quit. I think she's got a little bit of try in her, Dan. I like her moving outside, and she has Lasix.
Before we get to our top selections, please click the subscribe button on the Daily Racing Form YouTube channel for all the latest DRFTV video franchises. Top pick time. You like Jessica's Race on the outside. She gets out of there alertly. She's going to be up close to the pace with a big chance turning into the stretch. Chuck Lawrence doing a real fine job over the summer into the fall in the Mid-Atlantic.
I like both of her starts well enough to this point, Dan. I like that she moves outside, and I like the price on the morning line.
Concerned that Itsy Bitsy Izzy will be an underlay. She is the morning line favorite. She's disappointed at short prices twice. I do think her good speed will put her in with a big chance turning for home. I'll give her one more opportunity in this race. I think the 2, Quantico Creek, who finished ahead of her last time out, is solid as well. Your horse is my 3rd selection and a logical contender and might be at the best price of the 3. 10-4-2-6 for Mike, 8-2-10-5 for me. It's your Wednesday DRF race of the day, the 4th at Delaware. Approximate post time, 2 o'clock Eastern. Best of luck.